Fabulous food, flamenco and fantastic weather all year round. It's no wonder that southern Spain is a #1 destination for Brits starting a new life abroad. And if you're thinking of making that very move yourself, then please sit back and relax and let us show you how it's done. Coming up today on Living in the Sun, Jimbo and Sharon Gaffney gamble everything they have on setting up a children's theatre school on the Costa del Sol, but there are no guarantees of success.
We spent thousands on advertising, it's done absolutely no good whatsoever.
I struggle to find my sea legs when I try out a spot of canoeing.
It's very invigorating.
And will James, Claire and baby Bobby Harrison find their dream home on the Costa Tropical?
This is like the top end of our expectations, isn't it?
Moving to Spain gives people a fresh start and a chance to try something they've always dreamed of. So when Jim and Sharon Gaffney left their life behind in Grimsby for new beginnings on the Costa Blanca, they decided to turn their lifelong passion into a full-time profession. Jimbo and Sharon have lived most of their lives in the spotlight. Before Sharon gave birth to their 2 children, 4-year-old Jake and 2-year-old Krista, she worked as a professional dancer, and Jimbo is an ex-holiday camp bluecoat. A few months ago, they moved out to Spain and decided to use their experience and set up a children's theatre school amidst the bright lights of Benidorm.
They will be singing and dancing and acting and performing, learning some circus skills, learning to meet new friends and make new acquaintances, people they may have seen in the same village but never spoke to before. Then all of a sudden they'll find that maybe they have a common interest of acting or singing or performing.
The school will cater for children of all ages and abilities.
It's really not about being a good singer or dancer, although if we do find those people, we'll take them and do something else with them in a different way, as it were, produce a show around them and make them into a cabaret if possible. But it's about getting the kids off the street and then learning different skills, learning new things, but more importantly, learning stuff about themselves.
Well, that sounds like a good idea, but Jimbo and Sharon have to make it work as a business because there's no going back.
Everything we have left in the pot is at stake in this business. But financially, this will take everything we have. Everybody said to us, well, nobody's done this before. Why are you doing it?
Well, that sounds like a very good question. Jimbo and Sharon are investing £20,000 into their new business. It's a huge risk with no guarantees of success. Their first challenge is to find a venue for the school. So they've come to see a place on the outskirts of Benidorm.
Da-da-da-da! This is it! This is it! Wow!
What we could do would be mirrored all the way along there.
Well, let's see what's through here.
Wow, you're joking.
That's fantastic.
This could be another studio, really. Quite easily.
It's got everything we could possibly need, plus another 10 things we don't need at this very moment. Totally unbelievable.
It's just what I've always wanted. Always wanted something like this. It's perfect for me.
Well, the venue is evidently just what they're looking for, and Jimbo and Sharon decide to rent it on the spot. But whilst it might be perfect, it's not cheap, and having already invested so much time and money into the school, the couple now need to open as quickly as possible to get some cash coming in.
Jimbo!
Hiya, Vince.
Hiya. About time too.
Thanks very much.
Nice to meet you.
Jimbo is appearing on a local radio station. And with so much at stake, it's crucial he tells parents and their children exactly what will be happening at the school.
Each day will consist of a little bit of singing, a little bit of dancing, a little bit of performing. They'll come along, they'll make some friends. We will produce a show with them, but it'll be their input as well. Although they'll be singing, acting, dancing, performing, maybe juggling, doing some circus skills, they'll also go through the whole process of how a show is made.
I think it's fair to say that if the business doesn't succeed, it won't be down to stage fright or a lack of confidence. Whilst Jimbo hits the airwaves, Sharon hits the street with her sister-in-law, Angela, to flyer local bars and shops.
Good luck to Jimbo then. That looks absolutely first class. And any of the youngsters who go along, well, who knows? It could take you round the world.
Yeah. Hello. Hello there. Hi, my name's Sharon, and we're looking for any children between the ages of 6 and 17. How old are you?
8.
What's your name?
Jessica.
Yeah, exactly what we need.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we'd be interested.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I want to go there. I don't want to go to summer.
You don't want to go to summer school now? Well, you can do 2 weeks here, and then you can do your summer
Like
school.
you, Jess.
I'll go down to the town hall.
Okay.
There we are, fame at last.
Yes.
Very good. I'll have your autograph now, all right?
Lovely.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your help.
So, Jess.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's one potential. Shirley Temple signed up, just 24 more budding superstars to find. With everything they have invested in the business that hasn't yet opened, money is extremely tight, and Jimbo is having to work around the clock to set up the school and support the family. So he's working nights at a cabaret club in Benidorm town.
Well, at the moment, balancing work and setting up the business is not easy. It's a long shift, as it were. It's 8 p.m. till approximately 4 a.m. every morning. So it's a good 8 hours at the club. But getting up early again, after working 8 hours, only a couple of hours sleep, then getting up again to do the school run and keep everything going, trying to keep on top of what's happening within the business has not been easy.
Well, good evening and welcome to the town, ladies and gents. My name is Jimbo. I'm your host for this evening.
Despite only getting a few hours sleep, poor Jimbo is up bright and early. With the theatre school due to open tomorrow, he's come down to make the final preparations. But there's a problem, and it's serious. There's no electricity. And unless his neighbour allows him to plug into her power supply, he and Sharon will have to turn children away at the door.
Hola.
Hola,
Pero, buenas. Tenemos que ponerlo por allí. Fácil.
Sí.
Tira para allá.
Este es
Mira.
muy largo.
Mira, lo vamos a conectar allá y lo vamos a pasar por acá y aquí con mucho.
Well, I must confess my Spanish is a little rusty, but it sounds as though Jimbo's neighbour has agreed to help him out. And after running the electricity into the school, Jimbo and Sharon will be all set for their big opening. For the couple to break even, they need 25 children a day coming through the doors. They've invested £20,000 into the business and worked hard to promote it. The big question now, though, is how many children will turn up tomorrow morning. Still to come, the children start arriving.
Come on in, Daisy.
Hello.
She's the very, very first ever person.
But will Jimbo and Sharon's hard work and investments start to pay off?
We've spent thousands on advertising. It's done absolutely no good whatsoever. Not one person has come through any of the ads we've placed.
Living in Spain doesn't have to be all about just sun, sea and beaches. It can be about sun, scenery and, spectacular views. And a property in a picture-perfect location is exactly what James and Claire Harrison are on the lookout for. James and Claire have decided to escape the hustle and bustle of their life in Peckham in South London and start a new life together in southern Spain.
Really, Spain's got everything we want.
It's close to the UK and there are lots of English people here, which, realistically that does matter. We're not fluent Spanish speakers and we obviously want to fit in wherever we go to live.
It's got that cultural mix and the Spanish are very accepting of English people.
One of the main reasons behind their move is to give their son Bobby a better quality of life.
It's really so that he has lots of sort of outside living, lots of time in the pool, lots of time in the sun.
That's the idea, that we give him a chance to grow up in the sun and to play with Spanish children and to enjoy the Spanish style of life, where the kids are actually part of your everyday life and they stay up late in the evenings, go to restaurants with you and so on.
Before she and James met, Claire had her own flat, and once this is sold, the couple will have £200,000 to spend. So what do they want for their money?
somewhere that has a nice outlook. You know, we have a view at home of Peckham, and we'd quite like to have a view of mountains or the sea, or we're looking for something quite simple. We want a fairly basic home, I suppose, just with a couple of bedrooms, a bathroom. The most important things for us are that we want somewhere that's within easy reach of a town or village.
Well, that all sounds pretty reasonable. They want at least 2 bedrooms, good views, and don't want to be too isolated. And with a budget of £200,000, let's hope property expert Glenn Reeder can help them find exactly what they're looking for. Glenn's been working in this part of Spain for 10 years. No one knows the area better than him, so James and Claire couldn't be in better hands on today's house hunt. The couple have chosen the Costa Tropical between Malaga and Almeria on the southern coast of Spain as the place to settle down and bring up baby Bobby. Positioned between the sea and the mountains, this area of Spain is well known for its lush countryside. The first property on Glenn's list is situated just outside Sialonga. It's a typical Spanish mountain village, and the house sits just off the main road. It's a 2-bedroom bungalow with a conservatory, a huge 2,000 square metre garden, and a slightly smaller swimming pool. It has all the space the Harrisons are looking for, but James has a rather obvious worry on his mind.
It does seem to be located on quite a busy road. I mean, is that an arterial route through to Competa?
That is the main road up to Competa, yeah.
So it gets quite a bit of traffic.
Yeah, but as you see it now, I mean, today's a work day. So as you see it now is as it is.
They don't seem too overjoyed about that road. It's not the greatest of starts, but let's hope things improve when they take a look around the actual house.
I think this is one of the nicest parts of this property because you've got a nice big terrace at the front here.
That's a bit of a worry.
Which, it's a bit of a worry.
Yes, it's not particularly
This is
nice.
one of the nicest parts.
You're going to give me a hard time now.
Yes, Glenn, I rather think they are. But to be honest, I don't think the porch is too bad, and it's got a fabulous view of the surrounding mountains. There's also a barbecue area just outside with its own outdoor building. But hold on to your hats, it's time to have a look at the rest of the house.
Okay, come on in. So, we'll start with this part of the house. This is obviously the lounge area.
It's quite small, this area, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's
and
not
it
really
feels
open plan.
quite small. The ceilings are
I mean, it's not just because they've got big, ugly furniture in here. It's, I mean, it is. I think if you stripped it all out and burnt everything, then it still would be quite small in there.
That worries me a little because I was just about to tell you that this house is actually sold furnished.
Poor old Glenn's having a bit of a tough time here. Claire and James aren't afraid to speak their minds. But do you know what? I kind of like that. At least everyone knows where they stand. The living area is open plan and has a kitchen with an original fireplace. Leading from the lounge, there are 2 twin-sized bedrooms, but they are a bit, well, they're a bit cosy. Good luck with these, Glenn.
Right.
Okay, with a small double, 4-foot double, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both the bedrooms are of a similar size. They're both quite small rooms, unfortunately.
Unless you're a family of hobbits, it's going to need extensive renovation.
Well, it might be okay for Bilbo Baggins, but I think I can say with some confidence that this isn't going to be the Harrisons' new home. I'm very perceptive like that. This, without doubt, is one of the worst viewings I have ever seen. But to be fair to the house, although it's on the small side, it is in good order. So what's it worth?
What do you think is the value of this property?
I wouldn't pay more than sort of £120,000 for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this might come as a bit of a shock to you. The price of this property is £174,000.
Just there's so much money for a very basic house with not very many advantages.
Right. Well, I think we all know what's coming next.
I think it's just not really for us. It's very small and it seems very basic. The main thing I think is the road. But as James says, the flexible living space, it just doesn't work for us.
It doesn't exist, yeah. Or it's just got nothing that we want. It doesn't tick any boxes.
No.
You know, I think it's overpriced. I think they'll find it difficult to sell for that price.
Eek. So it's 1 down and 2 to go. Still to come, Glenn still struggles to find the right location.
I mean, it's kind of clinging to the side of a mountain.
And will Claire and James find the views they've been looking for?
I left the best till last, I think.
This is lovely. We do. This is fantastic.
Back now to Jimbo and Sharon Gaffney, who are trying to set up a theatre school for kids in Benidorm.
They will be singing and dancing and acting and performing, learning some circus skills.
The couple have invested £20,000 in the business and know they're taking on a huge gamble.
Everything we have left in the pot is at stake in this business. But financially, this will take everything we have.
With all their money tied up in the school, Jimbo and Sharon need to open for business as soon as possible. They found a venue.
It's just what I've always wanted. I love it. Just love it.
And promoted the school.
Each day will consist of a little bit of singing, a little bit of dancing, a little bit of performing.
Now it's opening day, and as the curtain goes up on Jimbo and Sharon's business, the children start to arrive.
Come on in, Daisy.
Hello.
She's the very, very first ever person.
Remember, for the business to succeed, Jimbo and Sharon need 25 children coming through the doors every day. That's an awful lot of bums on seats. But 10 minutes after Daisy's arrival, another 7 children have shown up, and Sharon is looking forward to getting started.
Today's going to be filling the forms in and getting to know the kids, really. Getting to see what they're interested in. Exciting.
Well, Sharon might be excited, but after an encouraging beginning, no more children have turned up. She and Jimbo have gambled everything they have on this business, and they're desperate to get it off to a flying start. But things are not looking good.
I didn't bring it in, Dad. We've got half a dozen or so children. We'll get things underway now, just at least let everybody know we're doing something. And then we'll see how and when anybody else turns up. This is it. All systems go.
Well, I think the look on Jimbo's face says it all. He's trying to stay positive, but the truth is, this is disastrous news. And as the day wears on, nobody else shows up.
5, 6, 7, 8. Directly to the side. Stretch that wall of a leg, the inside of a leg. Can you feel it? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Stop. Stand still. Fantastic. Right, I think we've had enough dancing for one day. I've got a gist of it. Now, tomorrow morning, when we come in, we'll do
It's been a disastrous turnout, but Jimbo is refusing to panic.
It's very early to try and judge on whether the business will pay off or not. This is only the opening of the business. We shall move on, and we've got so many different assets and facets to what we can possibly do here. Then we'll move on with that.
With only a handful of students enrolled at the school, Jimbo and Sharon are a long way from the 25 children a day they need to make a living. So they've decided to have another push on advertising in the local papers. It's money they really can't afford to be spending, but with the numbers so low, they don't have much choice if they want to keep their dream alive.
Joe from the Costa Blanca News has sent an email. One ad will be in this Friday's edition, and then the new updated ad will be in next Friday's edition.
I've seen a picture of you. A picture of you here, Krista. Who's that little girl? Who's that little princess? Eh?
And this is the editorial. Why dance?
And that's for this Friday, isn't it? That one.
That'll go in this Friday.
Despite their extra promotional push, the following week numbers in the theatre school are still impossibly low, and Jimbo isn't happy.
We've spent thousands on advertising. It's done absolutely no good whatsoever. Not one person has come through any of the ads we've placed. Has anybody who's contacted us or phoned us or spoken to us, I've asked them where they've come from, and it's come from other people telling them.
Jimbo is clearly upset, but a couple of days later, there's more bad news.
See.
Their Spanish solicitor has called to tell them there's a serious problem with their business license.
Understand totally.
This is a disaster. If they can't sort out their licence problem, the school will have to close down, and Jimbo and Sharon will lose £25,000.
Cheers, bye. Thanks, mate. Bye. Well, the plot thickens. The council have said, well, there's nothing in there, it's just an empty shell. So you get the picture. We were one step closer, now we're about 15 backwards, which is fantastic.
Still to come on Living in the Sun, Jimbo breaks the bad news to Sharon.
As far as the council are concerned, it's an empty shell. So this internal building doesn't exist.
The couple pull out all the stops and book a chart-topping celebrity to try and save the business.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a gentleman who's going to be on and come and perform for you some of the classic hits he's had from the charts.
And back on the Costa Tropical, can estate agent Glenn Reeder find the perfect place for house hunters Claire and James Harrison?
What do you think of the property so far?
It looks lovely from the outside. It's a great barbecue area, isn't it?
It's a great setting. Obviously, we spent 3 years in Australia, so barbecues
are
pretty
important.
One of the golden rules when setting up a new business is always spotting a gap in the market, and that's exactly what my next couple have done here in Los Arenales del Sol on the Costa Blanca. Robert Nathan and Kathy Hernandez decided to start Ay Caramba beach business after moving in together 6 months ago. Kathy had been living here for 3 years before she met Robert on the internet. He was working as a factory manager back in the UK at the time, but decided to up sticks and start a new life with kayaks, canoes, and Kathy in the sun. So you know me, I'm always ready to jump straight in, and today I'm getting a piece of whitewater action. Well, Robert, you know what they say, a new day and a new skill.
Si, senor.
We're doing all right, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're just skill now to get it in the water. The thing is, Robert, I mean, you come to Spain and you're thinking of setting up a business and you're thinking, right, Spain, business venture, kayaking.
We looked at the situation with the lifeguards and thought there's a business opportunity just waiting to happen. We said, okay, we'll rent cycles for the promenade and kayaks for the sea.
Yeah. And it was simple as setting up the business there. It's been quite straightforward for you.
Absolutely.
No nightmares as yet.
No nightmares as yet.
Okay, that's enough of the polite chit-chat. It's time to try out this kayaking malarkey for real. And Robert has assured me this is really simple, really straightforward, and it's just a little movement like this and a flick of the wrist, and apparently I'll be zooming off down the ocean. That's what he said.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Zooming might have been a slight exaggeration, but I don't think I'm doing too badly so far. So this is fun, I'm enjoying this. No dramas or disasters yet. Now, I don't believe it's ever going to be easy just to come to another country and set up a business just like that.
You do have the Spanish attitudes that you need to incorporate with your thinking plan.
When you're saying attitude, what do you mean by that?
The beach emptying out at 2 o'clock until 6 o'clock.
Ah, right, for siesta.
For siesta.
Okay.
You can look at the beach now. An hour ago it was full.
Were you not prepared for that when you started the business?
No.
How much money have you had to invest into this kind of venture?
You want that in pounds or euros?
Pounds, please.
Pounds, 18,000.
18,000? Mm-hmm. And that's not bad. When will you see a return on that?
By June next year.
Well, that'll be 18 months of hard work before they begin to see a profit. But if you're going to work hard, this is definitely the place to do it. I'm quite enjoying sitting out here having a bit of a chin wag, but Robert's decided it's time for me to learn the capsize drill. Isn't that a brilliant idea? It's very invigorating. Yeah. Yes, well, it may be invigorating, but now I'm back on board, I think I'll stay here for a while. I have to say, as a new hobby, I think I found one. Just not quite sure where I'd use one of these in East London. Oh well. Well, I'll have to stick to the tube for now. But before I head off, there's time for one last catch-up with Robert and Kathy. I want to hear their plans for the future, both professionally and romantically. So, Kath and Robert, I mean, things have worked out really well for you two. I mean, is there any regrets at all about leaving your past life behind?
None whatsoever.
No, not at all?
Not at all.
Nothing?
Nada.
Nothing, nada?
Nada, Espanol, nada.
Okay. Well, as it is going so well for you then, what would be your advice to other people who might be thinking of doing the same thing, setting up a business or something like that?
Learn the language first.
Learn the language. That's the key, is it?
It's a big issue. I mean, even if you know Spanish, you still have your headache with the way they do business. The way to do things is so different. If you don't know the language, it's even harder.
Talking language of love. Robert, final question. Are you not going to propose to Kath and make her your wife?
Watch this space.
You heard it here first, all right? Aww. In a few minutes, we'll be back in Benidorm as Jimbo and Sharon Gaffney fight to save their children's theatre school. But first, it's back to James and Claire Harrison's house hunt. Remember, they've packed up their life in Peckham in South London and headed out to Spain to start a new life with their 6-month-old son, Bobby.
Initially, with Bobby, it's really so that he has lots of sort of outside living, lots of time in the pool, lots of time in the sun.
The Harrisons have a healthy budget of £200,000 and seem to have pretty reasonable expectations of what they can get for their money.
We're looking for something quite simple. We want a fairly basic home, I suppose, just with a couple of bedrooms, a bathroom, and somewhere that has a nice outlook.
You see, nothing too extravagant there. But when property expert Glenn Reader took them to see a 2-bedroom bungalow in the picturesque mountain village of Sialonga, they weren't too impressed.
I think this is one of the nicest parts of this property.
That's a bit of a worry.
It's a bit of a worry.
If this is one of the nicest parts.
The viewing was a complete disaster.
Unless you're a family of hobbits, it's going to need extensive renovation.
I think we can safely say that the house isn't for them.
The main thing, I think, is the road. But as James says, the flexible living space, it just doesn't work for us.
It just doesn't exist, yeah.
Claire and James might not have been impressed with the first house that Glenn showed them, but he's not a man to give up easily. The second house on his list is in the mountainous countryside not far from the town of Compota, just to the east of Malaga. The scenery is truly breathtaking, and if they were to move here, James and Claire would have the fantastic views that are so important to them. The property is a modern villa and has 3 bedrooms, a large open-plan living area leading onto a terrace, a swimming pool, and wait for it, 7,000 square metres of land.
I think as good a place as any to start is the swimming pool.
Fantastic, look at it.
Wow. Good colour, isn't it?
It's very inviting on a day like this, isn't it?
It is. It's just the right size as well. It's got beautiful views, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I know that was one of the things you were looking for, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Something
exactly.
with nice views and
Yeah.
nice house.
And it's an attractive town as well. It's not.
Yeah, they're little white villages, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes, this is more like it. Claire and James like the views and the pool, which leads onto the fantastic barbecue area.
What do you think of the property so far?
It looks lovely from the outside. It's a great barbecue area, isn't it?
There's a great setting. Obviously, we spent 3 years in Australia, so barbecues are pretty central to our holiday experience.
Essential to live in, yeah.
This is much more promising. Time to find out if they like the inside of the house as much as they like the outside.
In you come.
Oh, wow. It's a size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even though the windows aren't massive, it's still light.
Yeah, but we want something open plan.
Well, it all sounds good. Let's just hope this modern house can fit inside their budget. There are 2 large double bedrooms with fitted wardrobes and a family bathroom.
Have a look at that room.
Bathroom. It's all fine.
Simple, modern.
Yep. Simple, modern, clean. Yep.
Tiling, do you like the tiling, colours?
Yeah, it's completely.
Yeah, it's pretty neutral, isn't it? I mean,
inoffensive. Yeah. I mean, this is exactly.
I mean, it doesn't have to be massive, does it? So, as a bathroom, how much time can you spend in there?
Well, it depends who you are.
Oh, accusing looks. Is James the bath hog or is it Claire? The good news, though, is that they're still laughing and smiling, so it's on to the master bedroom.
Oh, so it's 3 bedrooms.
And?
And ensuite?
We can take a look. Hey, good guess.
Oh, fantastic. Look at this.
Same size as the main one.
Yeah. This is
That is
good,
good,
actually.
actually,
Yeah. This is like the top end of our expectations, isn't it?
This all sounds too good to be true.
So thumbs up for this one, maybe.
Thumbs up in terms of the property.
The property, but the location.
What do you think about the location?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of clinging to the side of a mountain, and that kind of precarious drive down. I wouldn't want to do that in the dark.
Oh no, I thought we'd struck gold here. Can't Glenn tempt them with the price?
The price of this property today is £210,000.
That is quite a lot.
That is a lot for the location.
I think so.
I think that's a no then.
I think the property itself is great.
Yep, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
But the actual location of it is what kills it for me, because it really is too isolated. It's a long way from the town.
I mean, you can see the town, but that's going to take a long time to get up to, and half an hour from the beach on these windy roads as well.
For £200,000 is a lot of money. You really want something that's right for that, and this is not the right location for us.
OK, right house, wrong location. Time to move on, I think. The final property Glenn's showing James and Claire is back on the outskirts of the village of Sire-Longa. This 15-year-old house has 3 bedrooms, a fabulous sun terrace and a charming garden.
Very, very nice approach to the property, this one.
Lovely.
As far as location is concerned, how does this fit the bill? Is this more what you're looking for?
This is great because you could walk to there, even though it's quite a steep walk back.
The vista's fantastic.
Yeah, it's got beautiful views, but it's not isolated.
Thank goodness. They love the location, but it's time to get down to business and find out what they think about the house.
OK, so...
This is really nice, isn't it?
It's nice, yeah. I mean, it's not modern, but it's not, it's not too far the other way.
No, it's not.
A little bit of updating, but I like the open plan living aspect.
Open plan living is exactly what Claire and James are after. We're off to a cracking start.
Oh, this is lovely. Nice and cosy.
It is, yeah. It doesn't have to be acres of space because you're living outside, aren't you? So
and beautiful view as well. You can sit here and actually see out.
Those views are really helping to sell this house, and it's not too difficult to understand why. I don't think I would ever get tired of looking out over those mountains. But enough of the daydreaming, there's a house to be viewed.
It's not a big kitchen, but I think it's very usable.
Yeah, it's a nice size. The main thing is that it's open plan.
Leading off the open plan space are 2 good-sized family bedrooms and a family bathroom.
Another toilet.
So what you thought was an understairs cupboard...
It's also got a shower as well.
Yeah.
OK, if you just open that door there...
Ooh, a snooker room.
Well, a garage utility room.
Yeah. Could you turn it into another bedroom?
Well, I think I would, yeah, if it was me. I mean, I've just done the same thing with my house. The beauty with this is, of course, that you've got the doors there which you can go straight out onto the terrace or onto the drive. And the bathroom.
Yeah.
So effectively, it could be a totally self-contained unit if you wanted it to be.
Well, if it was me, I'd turn it into another bedroom too. Snooker was never really my thing.
We like this property, yeah?
The good news, though, is James and Claire are mentally moving in. And upstairs, there's another welcome surprise.
There's another room. I thought this was going to be external space.
Particularly nice room, this one, I think.
This would be a nice master bedroom,
Nice master bedroom, yeah, definitely.
They haven't had a bad word to say about this place, and I bet my own beloved house that they love the final part of it.
Oh, wow, roof terrace.
I left the best till last, I think.
This is lovely.
Oh, yeah, we love the roof terrace.
We do. This is fantastic. It's very secluded as well.
Let's face it, if it's views they're after, they don't come any better than this. They love the house, they love the location, but will James and Claire love the price? Cross your fingers. It's time to find out if their £200,000 budget is big enough for this fabulous family home.
So, what do you think the value of this property is?
Maybe £200,000?
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with this one. The price of this property today is £185,000.
Oh.
Really? Okay. Same price as a one-bedroom flat in London.
Yeah.
Same price, but just ever so slightly bigger. James and Claire have seen all the properties on Glenn's list, and it's time for them to make some decisions. The first house Glenn showed them was the bungalow on the main road, and guess what?
Yeah, that place was basic with a capital B. It was very, very small. on a main road, and the whole point of coming from Peckham to Spain is that we want to be somewhere which has good views and a quiet location, but still within, hopefully walking distance of a lively Spanish town, and that didn't really tick any of those boxes.
I see. Other than that, it could have been a contender. Never mind, the second property was the modern villa on the mountainside just outside the town of Compita.
I think we really like the house itself.
Yeah, the layout was great, but the actual situation was no good for us. Coming into Spain, looking for a starter home and having a young family, we need to be somewhere near facilities.
I'll take that as another no then. And we're down to the last property, but it really caught their imagination.
I could get excited about owning this property.
That is a kind of house that we could see ourselves starting with in Spain as a first go, but also with the potential that you can develop it further.
James and Claire really liked the last house, and they've told me that as soon as Claire sells her flat, they'll be in a position to make an offer. With a bit of luck, it won't be too long before they're sipping sangria and enjoying these breathtaking views from their lovely sun terrace. Back now to former Bluecoat Jimbo Gaffney and his wife Sharon in Benidorm. Remember, they left Grimsby last year with their 2 children, Jake and Krista, to open a kids' theatre school on the Costa del Sol.
Well, we'll get the children off the streets and they'll be coming in and singing and dancing and acting and performing, having some fun.
To make the business work, the couple need 25 children a day coming through the doors. But despite spending thousands of pounds on advertising and promotion, the turnout during the first week was disastrously low. If they're going to stop themselves going bust, the couple need to boost numbers and fast. But their Spanish solicitor has phoned to tell them about an even bigger worry. There's a problem with their business plan, or as the Spanish call it, their project, which threatens to close the school down completely.
As far as the council are concerned, it's an empty shell. Would you believe I have to make another project for the whole building itself to say what's already in there?
They say that some people have all the luck, and it must be true, because Sharon and Jimbo don't seem to be having any of it at all. If they can't sort out this problem, they won't get a business license, and without that, they'll have to close the school for good. Back at the venue, Jimbo breaks the bad news to his wife.
As far as the council are concerned, it's an empty shell. So this internal building doesn't exist. And there's 7 things we now have to do to get the license and open up fully and get that bit of paper on the wall.
Well, it's a bit of a gamble. But whilst their solicitor tries to sort out their problem with the licence, Jimbo's decided that the show must go on.
You can either sit and worry about it, or just get on with other things. I'm of the school where you just get on with other things, and as long as I've done everything I need to do to facilitate the other things that need to happen, I can't do any more, so I can't worry about it.
They've decided that the best way to boost numbers is to put on a show with the children who've already been attending the school and a special guest. It's a last-ditched bid to get his business up and running.
As far as the shows with the children, they'll be able to see that within a very short time, whether talented or untalented, you can actually get children on stage and get them singing and dancing. And then it will be one of the cabaret acts from Benidorm, the club I work.
Jimbo and Sharon have invited local journalists as well as mums and dads with their kids to see the show. They're hoping that their performance will help spread the word and boost numbers. Having already invested £20,000 in the business and with no more money in the pot, it's make or break time for the theatre school.
Are you going to clap?
Yeah.
How loud are you going to clap?
Yeah.
Show me how loud.
It's crunch time for Jimbo and Sharon, so let's hope Krista's not the only one on her feet at the end of the performance. Backstage, the kids from the theatre school are getting ready.
15 minutes, everybody! It won't start on time anyway.
The audience is settled in, and it's time for the curtain to go up on the show that will determine Jimbo and Sharon's future in Spain. First up are the children from the school. And the kids are doing Jimbo and Sharon proud. The audience seem to be enjoying the show, and it's time for Jimbo's surprise celebrity guest, and the suspense is killing me. Yep, that's right. It's 1980s pop sensation Dean Michaels from chart toppers Black Lace. Well, it might not be quite Robbie Williams, but to be fair, no one seems to care. Everyone's having a ball. As the curtain falls on the show, it's time to find out what the audience thought of the performance.
I come over from the UK over here just on holiday, but I'm looking at moving out here, and I think it'd be fantastic for my kids. Keep them off the streets and enjoy it.
I thought it was excellent. They haven't been here for that long, have they? She only came for this week. She's only been here for 1 week. So they've worked hard. It's hot, isn't it? And they've still got on with it, so they've done really well.
Well, the audience loved it. But the crucial question is, what did the children who were watching the show think of it?
I liked it a lot. They're very nice. I like singing and I like dancing very much.
Well, after all their hard work, it seems that Jimbo and Sharon have finally got a real hit on their hands. And a few weeks later, there's more good news, as their solicitor has sorted out their business licence. Thanks to their performance, they've also got almost 100 children a week coming to the theatre school, and numbers are continuing to rise.
It's maybe difficult to put across how happy I am personally. I've always smiled, I've always been a happy person anyway. However, we've been here a very short time. We've accomplished a great deal. But it's very exciting as well. We haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg of the other stuff we can do. The whole thing has been a fantastic adventure, but my whole life has been so far. Since before Sharon and since we've been together. We go everywhere together, we do everything together, we always have done. And it's fantastic.
Well, that was a bit of a performance, but it looks as though finally the curtain has gone up on Jimbo and Sharon's business, so well done, guys. Now, don't forget, if you would like some front row seats to see more Brits starting a new life for themselves out here in southern Spain, then don't forget to join me next time on Living in the Sun.